Hi, I'm Alan in central Thailand. You know, since I've been here, I've seen some awesome temples, and I thought I would do a series on them, starting with the second most awesome temple in Thailand after the White Temple. It's Wat Ban Rai, and you may know Wat just stands for temple-ish. And they've got some big ones, small ones, but this one is absolutely awesome. You'll love it. And I've got a question. They're all Buddhist temples. But tell me, is Buddhism a religion? I get you thinking. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh says Buddhism is not a religion. It is a practice similar to yoga, which you can do irrespective of religious beliefs. The Merriam-Webster defines religion as the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal God. Based on this, it's fair to conclude that the definition of religion includes a supernatural element with the power to influence humans. We find this in the Abrahamic religions like Christianity and Islam, and polytheistic belief systems such as Hinduism. The question is then whether Buddhists believe in a supernatural element with the power to influence humans. The answer is no. To his followers, the Buddha is neither a god, a divine incarnation, or a prophet bearing a message of divine revelation, but a human being who, by his own striving and intelligence, has reached the highest spiritual attainment of which man is capable. Perfect wisdom, full enlightenment, complete purification of mind. Buddhists do not believe in supernatural elements with the power to influence humans, and thus can't be defined as a religion. They do not believe in God. Actually, the path to enlightenment, Buddha's teachings, are very similar to modern personal development and success strategies. When you think Buddha was teaching this 600 years before Christ, and he did not need to threaten the fear of God to bring people out of barbarism, and became one of the biggest followings in the world. Awesome. Well, on to the temple. Thailand has no end of temples, and most are very same. But Wat Ban Rai is one of the most spectacular temples in Thailand. It's located in Thailand's largest province of Nakhon Ratchasima, itself the largest and least visited region of northeast Thailand, also known as Isan. The temple is located in the district of Dan Kun Thot, in a remote area outside the district town centre. Even the entrance is quite impressive. The temple, which is about the size of 20 football fields, is made up of different compounds and shrines. There are 4 floors to explore, including the rooftop. There is much to see in the grounds, including this more traditional temple. In traditional fashion, the walkway leading up to the elephant structure is a long naga balustrade. But these naga serpents are massive, much bigger than anything you'll find in any normal Thai temple, and they're entirely covered in mosaics. The structure's exterior is teeming with colour and detail. It's about as close as you can get to a Buddhism-themed theme park. At first glance, the expressive figures on the walls and pillars seem to be Buddhist or Hindu divinities, but upon closer inspection, they are more likely original characters, possibly straight out of Lumpur Kun's imagination. The blue guy above the entrance, for example, is jamming out on a guitar. The numerous pillars, meanwhile, are covered with painted tiles depicting colourful and vivid scenes. Some are of a religious nature, while others, well, who knows. One shows a giant chimp watering a plant that's emerging out of a massive skull, even bigger than the monk standing next to it. While the White Temple still has the most unconventional temple painting in Thailand, Wat Ban Rai comes in at a close second. With the help of over 400 volunteers and donations, this wonderfully creative work of art was created. Each person was allowed to attach 1 square metre of ceramic each day. There is now an array of fascinating artwork and interesting sculptures to be seen here, along with various different cabinets showing some insight into Buddhism. The mastermind behind the project was Lumpur Kun, a highly revered monk who passed away in 2015, shortly after the project's completion. Ordained at Wat Ban Rai in his early 20s, then just a regular rural temple, he spent years meditating in the jungles of Laos and Cambodia. Returning to Nakhon Ratchasima, he sought to revitalise the dilapidated and impoverished area, collecting large donations to rebuild hospitals, schools and roads. But clearly, Lumpur Kun's special abilities extended beyond magical healing. His artistic and creative side inspired him to come up with the idea to construct a massive, colourful elephant in the middle of the lake, and the lake is full of koi fish. Lumpur Kun was not just well known locally. He became something of a national celebrity due to his reputation for being adept at magic spells, and many Thais from around the country came to him for healing and protection. Closer to the entrance now, you can look round and see the temple we passed on the way in, and some of the food vendors. You can also have your photo taken and framed in front of the 2 nagas. The structure, which would become known as Horthep Witayakum, of course, also happens to be the largest display of mosaic art in Thailand. Supposedly, it comprises of no less than 20 million mosaic pieces. The project, of course, was not cheap. It required millions of baht, but Lumpur Kun's fame was certainly useful when it came to soliciting donations. Supposedly, former ousted Prime Minister of Thailand, Thatskin, even donated a few million baht himself. There are some very strange sights to see here, and I'm sure it all represents something in the Buddha tradition, like the good and bad on earth. Once inside, it is nothing like a traditional Thai temple. It has a very modern look with what might be a small altar. The whole building is circular, with a ramp circling within the walls leading up to the roof. Here we are halfway round, where there is an internal viewing point. The floor below the roof is a small gallery displaying items of interest, especially to the Thais. There is a lift to the floor below the roof if you're not really able to walk it. This leads out into a small room complete with souvenirs. The view from near the top is quite remarkable. It makes you realise how high this elephant really is. It also shows you how flat central Thailand is. The very top is accessed by stairs only, where the view is even more spectacular, and you can see the entire complex. Awesome. Enough of up there. I do not like heights. Down to the basement and it gets really bizarre. Like a theme park of sorts, but of what, I couldn't say. Weird. The rear entrance is no less spectacular than the front, except this guy's not allowed a guitar. From here there is a ramp leading down to the toilets, which again are no less spectacular. And we have a number of statues, including a blue Amazon taking photos with a golden camera. And in case you're wondering, these are the toilets. A bit ornate perhaps. And that's the men's. And the first one was the ladies, in case you're desperate. I was very impressed with this temple. Sadly, it is time to leave. It is supposedly one of the 10 must-visit places in Thailand, but unfortunately, so far off the beaten track. And I only saw Thai visitors when I was there, so probably not many Farangs. Another look round on our way out. There is so much to see here. It makes a good day out if you can get here. Ban Rai is basically in the middle of nowhere. It's located in Nakhon Ratchasima province, within Thailand's Isan region. Few tourists make it, sadly. Nakhon Ratchasima is also named Korat, and it is the second biggest city after Bangkok, though Wat Ban Rai is still roughly a 70-minute drive out of town. Without any public transport options, you will need to hire a driver, which could cost as much as 1,000 baht a round trip.
Well, that brings us to the end, I'm afraid. But what a lovely place. Oh, whoa. Oh, I don't like heights. Anyway, if you can, give us a like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next temple. Bye.